Irby. But we have seen her come off with a lot of steam. But if she doesn't have it today, Kendall Ellis will win the heat and establish the time to beat at 50-30.
Kendall Ellis was locked in a bathroom right before the most important race of her life. What happened next left the entire track world speechless. It was June 23rd, 2024, at the U.S. Olympic Trials in Eugene, Oregon. Less than 1 hour before her race, Kendall was stuck inside a porta potty. She was banging on the door and screaming for help. Someone finally got her out, but the damage seemed done. Her nerves were shot. The race was minutes away. But here's where things get crazy. Not only did Kendall run that race, she won it. And she didn't just win, she ran her fastest time in 6 whole years. Then the very next day, she came back and ran even faster to become the national champion and punch her ticket to the Paris Olympics. Nobody saw this coming.
Before the semifinals of my 400 at Olympic trials in Oregon, I went to go use the restroom, porta potty, and the lock got jammed. And I was stuck in there for about 10 minutes, an hour before my race. And so once I was panicking and realizing I did not have a way to get out, I started banging on the door, calling
Kendall
for
had
help.
struggled all season long. She was 28 years old, which is pretty old for a sprinter. Most people thought her best days were behind her. She was known as a relay runner, someone who helped the team but wasn't really a star on her own. But on night of the 23rd of June in Eugene, everything changed. When the gun went off for the women's 400-meter final, Kendall exploded out of the blocks. She powered around the track with a confidence nobody had seen from her in years. As she crossed the finish line, the clock showed 49.46 seconds. It was her second personal best in 2 days. She had just shaved more than a third of a second off her old record. The crowd went wild. Kendall dropped to her knees and covered her face with her hands. After 6 years of waiting, after all the doubts and struggles, she had finally done it. Aaliyah Butler finished second with a time of 49.71 seconds. Alexis Holmes, who was a world champion in the relay, took third place with 49.78 seconds. All 3 women broke 50 seconds, which is a huge deal in the 400 meters, and all 3 of them ran personal bests that day. They were all heading to Paris. But the spotlight belonged to Kendall Ellis. After the race, reporters asked her what she did differently. Her answer was simple but powerful. She said, "It was just replicating what I did yesterday and just doing it better." But the real secret wasn't about her training or her technique. It was something much deeper. Just believing in myself, truly. Kendall explained. The workouts haven't changed, the results in practice haven't changed. But finally, something clicked up here that says, you can do it. You can go out with the best of them, and you can finish better than anyone else. So just really believing and committing to that belief in the very first step. Think about that for a second. Her body was ready all along. Her coach had prepared her perfectly, but her mind was holding her back. Once she truly believed in herself, everything unlocked. This wasn't the first time Kendall had pulled off something amazing. In fact, she had done it before in the most spectacular way possible. 6 years earlier, in 2018, Kendall was running for the University of Southern California in the NCAA championships. It was the 4x400 relay, the final race of the meet. Kendall was running the anchor leg, which means she was the last runner for her team. When she got the baton, USC was in third place. She was so far behind that the TV cameras could barely see her on the screen. The Purdue runner in first place had a massive lead. The TV announcer was already calling the race. "There's no way, unless they drop the baton, Purdue's going to win this," he said. But Kendall didn't hear him. She didn't care what anyone thought. She just ran, and she made up 30 meters in the final stretch. 30 meters! She flew past both runners and won the race for USC. The crowd couldn't believe it. The announcer couldn't believe it. Even Kendall's own teammates were shocked. That race made Kendall famous in the track world. Even today, if you search for greatest track comebacks online, you'll find that video near the top. It's been watched millions of times. Kendall knew something important that day. The Purdue runner was a middle distance specialist, which means she was better at longer races. She didn't have the same speed at the end that Kendall had. "I'm always going to be optimistic about my chances," Kendall said later. "I mean, if I don't believe in me, then who else will?" That incredible comeback helped launch her career. She made several national teams because of her relay skills. At the Tokyo Olympics in 2020, she won a gold medal running in the preliminary rounds of the women's 4x400 relay. She also won a bronze medal in the mixed relay, but there was one painful memory that stuck with her from those 2021 Olympic trials. Kendall finished 4th in the 400 meters. She missed making the Olympic team for the individual race by just 0.07 of a second. That's basically one blink of an eye. The top 3 runners go to the Olympics. She was number 4. "I remember being so heartbroken," she said. "I'd have rather gotten 5th place or 6th, but it was certainly a learning lesson, and coming into today, I told myself I did not want that feeling again." For 3 years, that pain lived inside her. Every training session, every practice race, every moment of doubt, she remembered coming so close and falling just short. The 2024 trials were her chance to make things right, but the season had not gone well. Kendall struggled in race after race. Her times were slow, her confidence was shaky. Some people wondered if she would even make it to the trials final. In the semifinal on the 22nd of June, she ran 49.81 seconds. It was her first personal best since 2018. The next day, she improved even more, running 49.46 to win the final. Back-to-back personal bests when the pressure was at its highest. Going into the Paris Olympics, Kendall was a totally different athlete. She wasn't just a relay specialist anymore. She was an individual medal contender. She was someone who believed she could beat anyone. And then something hilarious happened. A few weeks before the Paris Olympics started, Kendall announced a new sponsor. It was Charmin, the toilet paper company. After the whole porta potty situation, Charmin saw a perfect opportunity. They created a campaign with the slogan "From backside to trackside."
You know, as an athlete, I'm very regimented. So being overseas, I'm doing my best to replicate my routine from back home. And since you never know what type of toilet paper to expect when you're traveling, I'm so thankful for Charmin, who's rolling with me out here in Paris to provide the smoothest home away from home experience. And given my history with bathrooms ahead of a competition, I'm grateful to Charmin for taking away any bathroom worries caused by subpar toilet paper. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tears got me covered from backside to trackside.
Kendall shared it on social media and everyone loved it. It was genius marketing that brought even more attention to her story. The night of the trials final wasn't just about Kendall, though. There were incredible performances all around Hayward Field. Before the races started, the famous rapper Snoop Dogg came out to warm up the crowd. He actually ran the 200 meters himself, finishing in 34.44 seconds. The crowd went crazy. In the women's 800 meters semifinals, Olympic champion Athing Mu showed why she's so special. She led a group of 4 women who all ran under 2 minutes, which is extremely fast. Her time of 1 minute 58.84 seconds was the quickest of the night. Kate Grace finished second with 1 minute 58.97 seconds, crashing into the scoreboard as she lunged at the finish line. It was her season best time. But through all of these amazing performances, Kendall Ellis' story stood out. A veteran athlete who was supposed to be past her prime. Someone who had struggled all year. Someone who got trapped in a bathroom right before the biggest moment of her career. And she turned it all into triumph. Kendall's journey reminds us that age is just a number. That belief matters just as much as talent. That the mind can be the biggest barrier or the greatest tool. She proved that it's never too late to achieve your dreams, even if you've been chasing them for years. At 28 years old, with a resume full of medals and records, Kendall Ellis finally became what she always knew she could be, an individual Olympic contender. She went from being known as a relay specialist to being a favorite for gold in Paris. Her story shows us that sometimes you need to fail first before you can truly succeed. That 4th place finish in 2021 hurt so badly, but it also taught her what she needed to learn. The 6-year wait for a personal best wasn't wasted time. It was preparation time.
She's got a good start, but watch Sha'Carri Jackson. Sha'Carri Jackson, is she just going to do it? Oh, on the near side, right at the end. They were getting ready from
Sha'Carri Richardson isn't just running races, she's changing the game. The 25-year-old sprinter has turned every start line into a statement, every finish into a moment of power. After years of fighting through setbacks and comebacks, she's now leading a movement that's reshaping what women's track and field can be.
Time. It's been said, it waits for no one. That you can't
Early life and rise to stardom. Born in Dallas, Texas. On March 25, 2000, Sha'Carri Richardson was raised by her grandmother and an aunt. From a young age, she showed promise as a sprinter, winning Texas state titles in the 100 meters and 200 meters during her high school years. Her breakthrough came at Louisiana State University in 2019, where she ran 10.75 seconds in the 100 meters at the NCAA Championships, becoming one of the fastest women in history at just 19 years old. Her sensational college debut led her to turn professional early, signing with Nike and training under coach Dennis Mitchell. With personal bests of 10.65 seconds in the 100 meters and 21.92 in the 200 meters, Richardson solidified herself as a dominant force in sprinting. Her time of 10.65 seconds remains a championship record, showcasing not only her explosive speed, but also her technical mastery. Her performance at such a young age reshaped the conversation around emerging talents in sprinting, placing her firmly in the spotlight. Trials, tribulations, and comebacks. Richardson's career has not been without controversy. In 2021, after qualifying for the Tokyo Olympics by winning the U.S. trials, she tested positive for cannabis and was suspended for a month. This made her ineligible to compete in the Olympics, triggering a global debate about cannabis regulations in sport. Despite criticism and emotional strain, Richardson faced the fallout head-on, explaining she had used the drug to cope with the death of her biological mother. Though she missed the Tokyo Olympics, Richardson returned to competition and began rebuilding her career. Her initial post-suspension race at the Prefontaine Classic ended in last place, but she remained resilient. She trained, refocused, and worked her way back to the top. Her bounce back speaks to her mental fortitude and unmatched ambition. What seemed like a devastating moment became the foundation for one of the greatest comebacks in modern track history. Dominating the track, her resurgence was marked by an incredible 2023. At the USA Championships, she claimed the national 100-meter title and then triumphed at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, winning the 100 meters in 10.65 seconds, a new championship record. She also took gold in the 4x100-meter relay and bronze in the 200-meter, cementing her place among the world's best. Richardson's success continued in 2024 when she defended her U.S. title and qualified for the Paris Olympics. In Paris, she won silver in the 100 meters, finishing behind Julian Alfred of St. Lucia, but stunned the world with a blazing anchor leg in the 4x100 meters relay to secure Olympic gold for Team USA. Her head-turning stare at competitors before crossing the finish line became one of the most iconic images of the Games.
Richardson goes, Jamaica are good. Darren Lisa chasing for Britain. Gina Luckenheffer for Germany, trying to get them on the podium. Sha'Carri Richardson under pressure here. It is.
In 2025, Richardson again helped the U.S. clinch gold in the 4x100-meter relay at the World Championships in Tokyo. These moments have defined her legacy, resilience in the face of scrutiny, and the ability to rise when it matters most. She now holds multiple world titles and has become a consistent podium finisher in every major championship she enters. Beyond the finish line, a revolutionary role. While her athletic accomplishments are historic, what sets Richardson apart is her broader impact. In 2025, she joined forces with Alexis Ohanian's women-focused startup, Athlos, as an owner advisor. Athlos began as a single elite women's meet, but is expanding into a full-scale team-based league in 2026. Athlos aims to revolutionize how women's track is seen, experienced, and monetized. With athletes like Tara Davis Woodhall and Gabby Thomas joining Richardson as co-owners and advisors, the organization is giving athletes more control and higher stakes through athlete-first management, team formats, and supersized prize money. This marks a radical shift in the way track and field is commercialized and experienced, giving fans more opportunities to connect with athletes and support year-round competitions. According to Kayla Green, Athlos' CMO, Richardson's involvement is game-changing. We are thrilled that she is mission and vision aligned with what we are looking for as far as the future of this sport. Her influence is bringing credibility, visibility, and passion to the league as it prepares for its multi-meet debut in 2026. Her role isn't just ceremonial. Richardson contributes strategic ideas and insights that could shape the future of track. A voice and a vision. Richardson is also unapologetically herself. With her long nails, vibrant hair, and unmistakable swagger, she redefines what an elite athlete can look and act like. She has openly expressed her bisexuality, voiced support for the LGBTQ community, and spoken candidly about mental health. Whether it's expressing joy after a victory or calling out hypocrisy in the sport, Richardson is never silent. Her advocacy became especially clear when she was suspended in 2021. Her case prompted global discussions on the fairness and cultural implications of cannabis bans in sports. Even U.S. President Joe Biden and major organizations like NORML chimed in. Her suspension led the World Anti-Doping Agency to re-examine cannabis's status on the banned substance list. This moment became bigger than athletics. It was a cultural reckoning around how we view discipline, grief, and athlete autonomy. Beyond activism, Richardson is an icon of style and culture. Her race day looks, bold lashes, colorful hair, expressive outfits capture attention and often trend online. These expressions aren't just cosmetic. They symbolize her defiance of stereotypes and traditional norms in athletics. Her style is power. Style, strategy, and staying power. Like her idol Florence Griffith Joyner, Richardson's presence on the track is theatrical and fierce. She turns races into statements, and her confidence is palpable. Her competitive mindset is laser-focused, and her racing strategy often involves powerful starts and even stronger finishes. Though she stands at just 5 feet 1 inch, she runs with the power and precision of a much taller sprinter. Her time of 10.65 seconds in Budapest remains one of the fastest ever. At 25, she has already inspired a generation and continues to push boundaries. She's also reshaping what it means to be a professional athlete in a social media-driven world. With a robust following and an active online presence, she connects directly with fans, sponsors, and critics. Her digital influence gives her leverage not just for brand deals, but for changing narratives around athletes' control of their stories. In an age where visibility is currency, Richardson has established herself as one of the sport's most marketable and influential figures. The legacy in motion. The future is bright for Sha'Carri Richardson. With the 2026 World Athletics Ultimate Championship on the horizon, the emergence of Athlos as a major player in women's track, and the Los Angeles Olympics in 2028, she is poised to further her legacy both as a competitor and as a sport-changing figure. Her impact extends to pop culture as well. She has a growing presence on social media, a loyal fan base, and a long-term Nike sponsorship. She's rumored to be in a high-profile relationship and has recently shown a willingness to confront personal challenges openly. Even in moments of personal hardship, like her 2025 arrest involving fellow sprinter Christian Coleman, she has shown accountability and commitment to growth, signaling her maturity and evolution beyond the track. Despite setbacks, controversies, and intense scrutiny, Richardson has remained a symbol of resilience, authenticity, and evolution in athletics. Whether sprinting across the finish line, building a new league, or advocating for justice, she is running toward a future where athletes, especially women, have more power, voice, and opportunity. She isn't just running races, she's running the game. In the world of track and field, she isn't just a star. She is the revolution.
Down the straight as best they can. The other men are trying to follow it. Mullins and Spearman. Spearman finishing fast. Bolt fins. Bolt wins. And Bolt.
Usain Bolt's world records have been standing for 16 years, and he just told the world he's not worried about anyone breaking them anytime soon. The fastest man in history made this bold statement at a Puma event in Tokyo just 2 days before the 2025 World Championships. When asked if today's sprinters could touch his records, Bolt didn't hesitate. "I'm not worried," he said. "People are trying to get faster and someday it will happen, just not now." Let's talk about these records. Back in 2009 at the World Championships in Berlin, Bolt ran the 100 meters in 9.58 seconds. Then he ran the 200 meters in 19.19 seconds. Both times are still the fastest ever recorded by any human. No one has even come close since then.
Der schnellste aus den Blöcken, jetzt kommt er und jetzt ist Usain Bolt nicht zu halten, nein, er gewinnt!
Here's what makes this even more crazy. Only one other person has ever run under 9.7 seconds in the 100 meters. That's Johan Blake, Bolt's former teammate, who ran 9.69 back in 2012. And in the 200 meters, again, only Blake has run faster than 19.3 seconds. That's it.
Tyson Gay got away well, so did Johan Blake. Blake's going away from this field at the moment. Following him is Tyson Gay, and Blake storming away, gets it. Gay in second place.
Just two people in history have reached these speeds, and one of them is Bolt. To put this in perspective, before Bolt came along, Jim Hines held the 100-meter record at 9.95 seconds. He set that in 1968 at the Olympics. It took 14 years for someone to break it. Bolt's record has now lasted 16 years and counting. It's already more durable than one of the most famous records in track history. So why is Bolt so confident? He's been watching today's top sprinters, and he's clear about what he sees. "I think the talent is there," Bolt explained. "There will be talented athletes coming up, and they will do well. But at this present moment, I don't see any athlete able to break the record." But here's something interesting. Bolt actually thinks one of his records is more vulnerable than the other. When asked about which record might fall first, he said the 200-meter mark is definitely more vulnerable than the 100. But even then, he added, that's a very, very difficult time as well. Now let's talk about technology. Today's sprinters run in special carbon-plated shoes called Super Spikes. These shoes didn't exist when Bolt was racing. Puma, the company that made Bolt's shoes back then, did some research. They wanted to know how fast Bolt would have run if he wore today's Super Spikes in Berlin. Their answer? 9.42 seconds. Think about that. That's not even close to what anyone runs today. Bolt agrees with this estimate too. "I fully agree," he said. He pointed to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, another Jamaican sprinting legend, who got faster after she started using the new spikes. "I probably would have run way faster if I'd continued," Bolt reflected. "Maybe I would have continued just to compete at that level." But Bolt retired in 2017, and since then, no Jamaican man has won a global sprint title.